Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dapper Diary. Are you ever just sitting there and wondering, where can I find some more interesting boots? You already have the basic brown boot, you already have the basic black boot. Now that will cover you in most situations, but you want something exotic, something unique, something that not many other people have. Well, I got the solution for you today. Let me introduce to you the Grant Stone Diesel boot in their Cognac Ostrich Leather. Before we get into the nitty-gritties about these specific boots, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the brand. Grant Stone is a company that is based in Michigan, although they do manufacture all of their boots in Xiamen, China. But don't let that scare you away, because after owning several of these boots, several of Grant Stone's shoes in general, I can say with confidence that their quality to price ratio is beyond compare. They make some of the best boots for the best value that I've ever seen, and the quality is just amazing. So why is it that good? Because although they assemble and manufacture them in China, they source all of their materials from very reputable brands. So for example, the leather often comes from C.F. Stead and Horween Leather Tannery. Horween is probably the biggest leather tannery in the United States. They manufacture the Horween Chrome XL leather, the most popular leather in the US. And they are a very reputable brand. They've been around for 100 years or more, so you cannot go wrong with the leather that Grant Stone uses. All right, now let's jump into why these boots are my favorite boots that I own right now and why I just love them so much. Now, the leather in these boots are obviously the full quill ostrich leather. Full quill means that it is the area where the feathers are plucked from the skin, and that is exactly what these individual dots are. Now on the website, the pictures that they use for these boots, they make the leather seem significantly darker than they actually are. In person, they actually are a much lighter shade of brown, although that's not to say that the color isn't beautiful. I would say that the leather color is fantastic. It's something I could just look at all day, and it's a pretty versatile color in my opinion. However, I will say one thing that surprises me is how little these boots patina. Patina is just the character that leather or any material develops over time. You would assume that for a leather this light in shade, it would patina dramatically. However, I've owned these boots for almost 2 years, and the leather hasn't darkened significantly at all. There are some areas that it has developed patina, just not as much as I would like. One thing I would be pretty careful of is that the leather is actually pretty delicate in terms of these quills. Now, after wearing this for 2 years, I've accidentally knocked my toe into a few things, and if you knock them hard enough, these little quills are gonna start to lift, and it's just, sometimes it can get a bit disappointing that you spend this much money on a nice pair of boots and the best part of the boots start to deteriorate a little bit. So just be careful. If you wear it normally and you don't really put it through hell, it's gonna be perfectly fine. On the inside of this boot, it features a very soft kipskin lining. Kipskin is the leather derived from a very young calf, and in conjunction with the outside of the boot, the leather is going to be about 2 millimeters thick, pretty durable enough for the average wearer. And the kipskin lining on the inside, it's super soft, super supple. It makes wearing this very comfortable, and the increased durability is always a good plus. Now for the heel of these boots. They feature on the inside a 100% vegetable tanned leather counter, and that is a really good thing. It is a very stiff piece of leather in there, and although that doesn't sound nice, trust me, a stiff leather counter is so much better than a flimsy leather counter, because with a stiff and solid counter, it'll keep your heel locked in place, and it's going to make sure your heel doesn't start slipping out. It's going to keep them locked so that you don't develop blisters after you break in these boots. For the more technical parts of this, the Grant Stone Diesel boot has a 360-degree Goodyear storm welt. In addition to that, they have a full-grain vegetable tan leather insole Now this will help conform to the shape of your foot. It's going to be like a custom orthotics. It'll feel very nice once you break them in. Under the vegetable tan insole is going to be cork filling. Cork filling also helps with the molding to the shape of your foot and is a very good filler for Goodyear welted shoes. Along with that, they have a steel shank. A steel shank just provides more support in the arch so that, say you're standing on a ladder, you're not going to feel the steps of the ladder digging into your foot because of the shank. Underneath the steel shank, there's going to be another full-grain vegetable leather midsole. And then lastly, on the outside, there's going to be a day-night look-alike outsole. It's not day-night, looks like day-night. It has a very good compromise between form and function. Decent grip, but keeps a very nice silhouette as well. And last but not least, they, of course, have some very nice, very antique-looking brass hardware, along with some very thick, nice leather laces. All right, on to fit. These boots have the standard boot sizing, which is that they run a half size large, so you want to order a half size small. For example, if you are normally a size 9 in shoes like Vans, Converse, and other sneakers, if you're normally a size 9, you want to try ordering a 8.5. They also have different widths, so if you have abnormally wide feet, they can definitely accommodate for that. Their widths for these specific boots are D, E, and a triple E. That will fit almost all shoe foot sizes. If you have really odd looking feet, you might have to go custom. Grandstone doesn't do custom boots, but for the vast majority of you, say 99% of you, you can definitely find a pair of boots that fit you very well. Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the price. Price is the most important factor in purchasing something for most people, because you want to make sure your hard-earned money is put into something good, something that you will use, something that you enjoy using every single day. These boots are going to run you $498. A $500 boot is going to be pretty steep for most people, especially if you're used to buying some Timberlands or Doc Martens, some sub $200 brand boots. $500 seems to be a bit much. But don't forget that these are an exotic leather. These are Ostrich Leather boots. It's going to be more expensive than your average Goodyear welted boots. It's going to be more expensive than your average Grant Stone boots. Most of their Grant Stone diesels are within the $350 range. It's a lot easier to take for most people, but you just have to remember that you're paying for the premium exotic leather. Okay, now how do you style these boots? Personally, if you want to go with a casual look, I would say wear them with either a light wash jean or a dark wash jean. You can go either way. I think both ways look very nice. Personally, I like the dark wash better just because I'm a person that likes to stand out amongst the crowd in terms of the things that I wear. And the higher contrast between the dark wash jeans and these light tan boots is going to make these boots pop just a little bit more. It's going to make you stand out a little bit more. But say you want to go for a smart casual look. I would say pair them with a pair of navy chinos and a crisp white button-up shirt. Doesn't have to be a dress shirt, but a nice linen shirt. Doesn't have to be tucked in. Untuck them, and then it'll look pretty nice. Let's talk about who these boots are for and who they're not for. Personally, I don't think these boots are the best choice for those of you who are just getting started in your fashion journey. I think if you are a beginner, you should stick with something more casual, something more basic, such as a dark brown boot or a nice pair of black boots. That way it's just more versatile, you'll get more use out of it, and you're not dropping that much money on a pair of boots that you can only wear in certain occasions, or that you don't feel comfortable wearing in most occasions. Also, if these boots are too expensive for you, don't buy them. If you cannot afford it yet, if you're like a college freshman and you're just eating cup noodles all the time, don't buy these boots. If you can't afford them, and if you really want them, save up and then buy these boots when you have the money to buy them. But don't go into debt for a pair of shoes. On the flip side, I think that these boots are a perfect option for those of you who, first, can't afford them, second, already know your style pretty well, and you're not afraid to step out of your comfort zone. If you're comfortable wearing a pair of boots that make a bold statement, and you're not scared to stand out amongst the crowd, then yeah, sure, pick these boots up. Alternatively, if you have a lot of boots already and you just want a pair of very unique boots that not many other people have, then also it's a wonderful piece to put into your collection. So the $1,000,000 question is, are these boots worth it? Personally, 100%. I know $500 is a very steep price, but after buying these boots, I can say that these are my favorite boots. I wear them almost all the time. If I don't know what to wear, I'll take a pair of nice dark wash jeans, I'll get a nice crisp white shirt, and then I'll pair them with these boots. You can't go wrong. They are super comfortable, they look very nice, and I can wear them all day and not get fatigued. If you're in the market for a pair of nice exotic boots, these are a must-have. Ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of today's video. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you found this video helpful and if you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel, as it would really help my small channel. Stay dapper.